Binge eating disorder. It is typified by frequent episodes of eating a lot of food, frequently fast, and to the point of pain. Amnesia. Amnesia is the term for partial or total memory loss that is frequently brought on by psychological hardship or trauma. Bruxism. It is the crushing or grinding of teeth, which frequently happens while you sleep and causes jaw pain and dental problems. Dissociative fugue. Dissociative fugue is characterized by abrupt, unexpected departure from home and frequently by an inability to remember one's own identity and background. Folie à deux. Transferring a delusional picture from one patient to another who is intimately connected to the first protects against this uncommon illness. Body dysmorphic disorder. People who suffer from this illness are excessively focused on any perceived imperfections or shortcomings in their physical appearance. Acute stress disorder. Acute stress disorder, sometimes referred to as autism spectrum disorder, is a psychological reaction to an upsetting or stressful experience. PICA. The constant use of non-food, non-nutritive substances is associated with PICA, which is unsuitable for the developmental stage of the affected person. Adjustment disorder. An individual develops adjustment disorders when they are unable to manage a stressful life experience. Delusional disorder. The affected individual has long-lasting false and unrealistic views. Agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is a disorder characterized by a person's extreme anxiety about locations or circumstances from which they could find it difficult to flee or, if necessary, seek assistance. Alcohol and substance abuse involves abusing substances like alcohol or narcotics. Encopresis. It describes the frequent and uncontrollable defecating of an individual over the age of 4 in clothing or other inappropriate areas. Exhibitionism. The sexual impulse to repeatedly and intensely display one's genitalia to people, usually strangers, is known as exhibitionism. Antisocial personality disorder. Sociopathy, or antisocial personality disorder, is characterized by a chronic pattern of impulsivity, dishonesty, and lack of regret for the rights of others. Kleptomania. The persistent inability to control the urge to pilfer objects that are not required for one's usage or financial gain is a hallmark of kleptomania. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This neurodevelopmental condition, also referred to as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, is typified by recurrent patterns of hyperactivity, impulsivity, and inattention. DERMOTILLOMANIA. Also referred to as a skin-picking disorder, it is characterized by compulsive, repetitive skin picking that causes tissue damage. Autism. Autism is a neurodevelopmental illness that manifests in a range of severity and is characterized by difficulties with social interaction, communication, and repetitive activities. Avoidant Personality disorder. A pervasive pattern of social inhibition, feelings of inadequacy, and hypersensitivity to negative evaluations, which leads to the avoidance of social encounters, is exhibited by people with avoidant personality disorder. Bibliomania. Owning and collecting books is an obsessive-compulsive disorder that frequently interferes with other facets of life. Anorexia. This eating disorder is typified by a severe fear of gaining weight, which causes self-imposed hunger and a skewed perception of one's physique. Bipolar disorder. Manic episodes and depressive episodes alternate in bipolar disorder, often known as manic depression. Borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder is typified by mood, self-image, and interpersonal connection instability. Brief psychotic disorder. A brief psychotic episode characterized by disordered thought patterns, hallucinations, and delusions. Primary hypersomnia. Primary hypersomnia is an excessive amount of daytime drowsiness without a known reason that results in restless, protracted sleep. Bulimia. To avoid gaining weight, it entails many periods of overeating, followed by compensatory actions such as vomiting, fasting, or intense exercise. Conduct disorder. It is a childhood or teenage condition marked by recurrent patterns of behavior, such as anger, damage, or lying, that go against social standards and other people's rights. Conversion disorder. Conversion disorder is characterized by neurological symptoms, like paralysis or blindness, that are assumed to be related to psychological issues rather than a medical disease. Dependent personality disorder. Dependent personality disorder sufferers have a constant need to be looked after and a fear of being left alone. General adaptation syndrome. It describes the 3 stages of the body's reaction to stress: alertness, resistance, and exhaustion. Depressive personality disorder. People with this illness commonly experience feelings of sadness, loneliness, inadequacy, and guilt. They have significant emotions of emptiness and inadequacy in response to rejection or loss. Dissocial personality disorder. It is characterized by a generalized disrespect for other people's rights, a lack of empathy, dishonesty, and a history of behavioral issues. Dissociative identity disorder. previously referred to as multiple personality disorder or dissociative identity disorder, it is characterized by the existence of two or more unique identities or personality states, each having a unique manner of relating to the outside world. Expressive language disorder. It is a chronic illness that affects one's capacity for language use. Individuals who suffer from this language issue can comprehend what others are saying, but they struggle to put their thoughts into words when speaking. Gender identity disorder. A noticeable discrepancy between a person's experienced or expressed gender identity and their given gender at birth is known as gender identity disorder or gender dysphoria. Depersonalization disorder. Persistent or recurrent feelings of being disconnected from one's body or mental processes, often referred to as an out-of-body experience, are indicative of depersonalization disorder. Down syndrome. A person with Down syndrome is genetically predisposed to having an extra copy of chromosome 21, which is a chromosome. Numerous health issues are caused by this additional chromosome. Dyslexia. Accurate and fluid reading and writing are challenging. Anorexias. The persistent inability to stop urinating after the age at which voluntary bladder control should have been attained is also known as bedwetting. Erotomania. A patient with erotomania, a kind of delusional disease, has an erroneous and compulsive assumption that someone else is attracted to him romantically. Generalized anxiety disorder. Excessive and uncontrollable concern about many aspects of life, frequently coupled with physical symptoms such as restlessness and tense muscles, are the hallmarks of generalized anxiety disorder. Histrionic personality disorder. The hallmarks of histrionic personality disorder are an attention-seeking behavior style, excessive emotionality, and a need for acceptance. Hypochondriasis. Despite little to no indication of disease, excessive concern that one may have a significant medical condition is known as illness anxiety disorder or hypochondriasis. Onychophagia. The obsessive behavior of chewing one's nails, known as onychophagia, frequently results in infection and tissue damage. Sleepwalking disorder. When a person with a sleepwalking condition engages in sophisticated acts while still partially awake from sleep, they frequently have no memory of the incident. Mathematics disorder. Despite having a sufficient IQ and access to schooling, people with mathematics disorders have trouble learning and using their mathematical skills. Nightmare disorder. Recurrent dreams that significantly disrupt daily functioning or cause great suffering are indicative of nightmare disorder. Primary insomnia. Primary insomnia is characterized by difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, which cannot be attributed to another physical or mental health issue. Trichotillomania. The hallmark of trichotillomania is the repeated pulling out of one's hair, which results in hair loss and severe anguish. Joubert syndrome. Underdevelopment of the cerebella vermis causes neurological and developmental problems in Joubert syndrome, a rare hereditary condition. Schizophrenia. A severe mental illness called schizophrenia is marked by abnormalities in behavior, thought, and perception that frequently make it difficult to go about daily tasks. Social anxiety disorder. It is a mental illness in which sufferers feel afraid of other people. Hysteria. A person experiencing uncontrollably powerful emotions is said to be hysterical. Rumination syndrome. Recurrent swallowing of food that is either swallowed whole or spat out without apparent medical reason is known as rumination syndrome. Alcohol and substance dependence. More severe abuse dependence is characterized by physiological and psychological dependence on drugs that is accompanied by trouble managing use and withdrawal symptoms. Munchausen syndrome. Munchausen syndrome is characterized by the creation or exaggeration of medical or psychiatric symptoms to play the ill person. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like our channel for more enthusiastic content.